Give this a second to kind of load and get set up. I'm going to be doing a video today on the Earth Star Chakra. You know, we're starting a new year with this class space, and this is a space that goes over a lot. Things like manifesting the energies, you know, different parts of the body, the chakra system, and I think everyone hopefully has the 7 chakra system kind of down, and we're ready to kind of evolve to some other chakras that I'm into. So I'm always just trying to kind of bring my insight and the things that I'm into kind of to video and kind of incorporate it into these little areas. So today we're going to be talking about the Earth Star Chakra, and that is not to be confused with the Soul Star Chakra, which is the chakra I'm going to get into next week. Some people kind of get them confused. The Earth Star Chakra is the one below your feet. It's not part of your physical body. It's part of your etheric body. So it's part of your etheric body and more like your energy field. It's a few inches below your feet. I started with this chakra on purpose because I can feel my, I guess you'll say, feet chakras and some of the other chakra systems that have come online with myself in my body. I would just say my feet chakras are very overactive. I would describe it like I can feel those flows of energy, and you know, these chakras are connected to the rest of your chakras in your energy system. What is a chakra? Just to back up, a chakra, I like to think of it as kind of a spinning vortex of light. It's a concept that I was already getting led back to real early on. I was doing a lot of like chakra meditations, and kind of I had a good understanding of how the chakra system kind of connects to the physical body and how it really affects us. If you get blocked chakras, you'll probably get sick in that kind of area with the physical body. So it's really easy to see that if someone has something wrong with the physical body, you can probably match that up with the chakra that they need to clear or has blockages or that they need to work on. So we've done a pretty good overview of the 7 chakras. I'm always throwing stuff up there. I've been putting a lot of content up here too. So this is where we're going to start. To start out with, what is this chakra? Like I said, it's right below your feet. I like to think of the color of this chakra as brown. There's some people who think it could be like a light green, right? It could be a different color brown, but I really resonate with it being kind of like a reddish brown. It connects with the earth. And we are so deeply connected to the earth. I believe in higher, you know, perspectives on consciousness, such as that we're all one, kind of having this experience and getting to know ourselves and finding ourselves around here, but we're all deeply interconnected, especially with the earth. We're seeing that interconnection, that as the earth is having issues, that there's a lot of people having health issues during this time. This chakra is powerful because it connects not only to Gaia, but it connects to the grids of the planet as well. So, you know, I always used to walk around barefoot. I'm trying to figure out what happened to my chakras. I was walking around barefoot a lot when I was living in California. I was kind of just recapping like a couple nights ago that, thinking to myself, I've walked around some really nice places barefoot, like beaches in my life, right? And some really nice kind of high energy spots. I spend a lot of time walking around barefoot here in England on a lot of these ley line kind of areas, and for sure I have really overactive soul star chakras right now. They're very overactive in terms of kind of other chakras in my body. I've been really working on connecting with the earth though the past couple of years, like in a lot of ley line kind of areas. We'll just say, well, this chakra connects to the ley lines. It connects to those kind of energy grid systems of the planet. So I think that what is happening is these energies are coming in, and a lot of them, everyone just says they're solar flares. A lot of them really aren't. I was on the Space Weather website like 2 days ago, and they say that we're going into a solar minimum, and that there's less of that solar activity now than you know, ever, and that it's a lot of cosmic rays. If you go look at their website, things like that, I think that they can't always tell, and that they don't really have the right equipment to be testing some of these galactic energies. Part of the reason why they're always coming up empty when they're looking for extraterrestrial life, they're always looking for the wrong kind of things and things like that. So we're getting hit with a lot of galactic energies. The earth is being activated as well. The earth is going up in frequency. We can see that with things like the Schumann resonance, and we can see that it's having an effect on the planet. We're seeing more auroras, things like that, from these kind of geomagnetic energies, but most importantly, it is activating the planet. So the Earth is going through its kind of own energetic ascension, and if we get outside during this time, it's very, very powerful to connect with the energies of the Earth. There is nothing more crazy feeling than going to some of these ley line sacred site areas during these like highly charged space storms, where the entire planet is getting flooded with all this energy, and it's lighting these grids up, these ley line systems up, and this energy is really like being distributed globally. And there's no more of a crazy feeling energetically than kind of being outside during some of these kind of highly charged space storms, like literally, right? Next eclipse, go outside, get out into some of these kind of like high energy spots. They're basically power spots for this energy. Well, your chakras are their own gateways, just like we have stargates in some of these sacred site areas. We can look around the globe and see that there are kind of these stargate porthole areas of the earth chakras, and we can tell that these are powerful places where sometimes even strange things happen. We have right, people disappearing, we have weird kind of like a lot of paranormal activity, extraterrestrial kind of activity, a lot of kind of bizarre things can happen in these ley line areas that they don't have a really good explanation for. But your body is no different. I try to think about ourselves as the same as the earth. That's how we can kind of understand ourselves, that we have the exact same kind of layout and everything. We're one. So we still have these stargates and portholes within our body. They're literally doorways to other dimensions within us. I think that we still haven't even tapped into like the potential of the body, you know, our capability and things like that. We're kind of just beginning to, and we're having a lot of kind of information come back that is meant to help us. If you guys are being drawn to this video, even if it's like later seeing it somewhere else, you probably are a grid worker, or you probably might have an interest in these ley line areas, or you're getting led to this stuff for a reason. All right, so we can connect to any of our chakras. It helps if we're aware of this stuff, right? So we're now becoming aware of this stuff so that we can tune into this stuff. For sure, getting outside and walking around barefoot was powerful for me in terms of connecting with the earth energies and activating the chakras in my feet as well. When we're doing healing, we draw symbols in the aura. Sometimes we draw them on the foot symbols. A lot of you guys are into Reiki. That's why I love these spaces. A lot of you guys are very spiritual and into this kind of stuff too, right? So some of you guys have done Reiki, maybe not. If any of you guys have been attuned to Reiki, you can even use like the Reiki power symbol and draw it on the bottom of the chakras of your feet or the palms of your hand to assist you in opening up to these energies more. If you guys have not been attuned to Reiki, you guys always know I do that too. All right, so you can go ahead and you can even use the Reiki symbols. Why Reiki? Reiki is kind of an earth-based energy. I think that's why I'm drawn to it, because it's more of a energy kind of in tune with Gaia, with the energies of the earth. It's more of a kind of earth energy, right? So it's really good, especially, so if you guys have done Reiki, like I said, you could be using symbols, crystals, crystals for connecting with the earth star chakra. Sometimes the black crystals are the best. Sometimes I'm drawn to things like obsidian, but any kind of really black crystals, almost the same ones that would be good for your root chakra would be good for that earth star chakra as well. Like I said, just really connecting with Gaia. This is a chakra that also has to do with incarnation too. The next chakra we're going to do next week, I'm doing the earth star this week. I'm going to do the soul star chakra. I call that one of the astral chakras. I'm very into the head chakras. I have activated all of mine, so I can kind of give a little bit of like an ascension perspective too, because I am just a normal person who is living on this planet during a time of ascension, and I started having kind of profound things happening with me, so I felt a need to get on video and talk about it, because I know everyone else is kind of going through the same process. So these are chakras that I have activated. I don't know exactly where I am in the upper chakra system, but I've already delved through some of the closer to inner chakras, so that's why we're going to cover these ones too. It's so powerful to connect with these. How do you find out where the ley lines are? I think it's a lot like the human body. It's so hard for me to even try to map out the earth, right? I'm into the earth, clearly. I'm into a lot of these sacred sites. Before I even was going to them, it was something that I spent a lot of time getting trained in and like researching, I noticed. I was getting drawn to teach about some of these, especially like in Peru and some of the ones around the world. I was getting drawn to look into. There's a lot of things that teach about them. I was kind of getting led to them. I believe that the ley line system is kind of like a new grid because it hasn't been active ever. Like I believe that the pyramids are on this system, Stonehenge, a lot of other ones, and it's like a global grid, but I believe it hasn't been turned on ever, and that we're turning it on now for the first time ever. And I believe that we're like little fractal points in that grid. I had this interesting picture from space of the auroras like a couple nights ago, and it shows the lights from space, not like city lights, just these random lights. I was like, that's probably the light workers. You think I'm joking, right? Those lights are probably the light workers, but you can see that you know, there's different points, power points on this grid. I believe that us kind of finding our light, we're turning on that grid too, that we're hooked up to this grid system. So it's not random where we're living. Like we're kind of spread out, kind of weird. So it's not random. It is so that we can turn on this grid. These ley lines go around the whole planet. There's areas that get more of this energy and kind of less of it for sure. But for sure, it would be like an entire global system that would reach the entire planet. Now, there are areas that a lot of energy comes through. Like I'm in England right now. And I was saying a lot of energy comes through this place, like the space storm energy. But if you think about the heart chakra of the planet, it would pump blood to the entire body. So I like to think of the energy system like that, where a lot of that energy comes from the heart chakra as well, which is here. So we can see that, you know, the chakra system of the earth teaches us a lot about our physical body as well. The third eye chakra moves. I was saying here that it moves, and it's here in England as well, in Glastonbury, but formerly it was like in Tibet, and like even before that it was in South America, so it actually rotates. So right now England has probably the most spiritual energy on the planet, which is kind of rare too, because normally it wouldn't kind of cycle through here. So that chakra does move as well. It's kind of weird. I said if it was a few years ago, I would have had to go to Tibet for this spiritual kind of journey that I'm on. So these ley lines are everywhere. You guys probably live near them. You guys probably live near a lot of these sacred areas. And the reason we have these sacred sites is because the land is sacred. And a lot of times, especially in past times, they would be able to draw power from this, right? We have no need for oil. We have so much natural free energy all around us, especially with these ley line systems. They could have been powerful in space technology and things like that for sure. I like to think this whole planet is really a galactic civilization anyways, and it was built with kind of great care. We'll just say about that. So for sure, I have no idea where you're in, right? So, but we have these everywhere in every country. A lot of you guys are part of that grid as well. So when walking around barefoot will be powerful in activating your feet chakras, which will better connect you to the consciousness grid. Once you activate your Earth Star chakra, you become more sensitive to the energies that you're probably taking in and actually putting out. You can probably sense other people's energy better. Sounds really weird. Having your feet chakras activated, you can probably sense other people's energy better, get a better read on them too. So we know that through connecting with the earth, it really opens us up more. That's all we're trying to do, is really, open us up to our full potential around here. It's really good for cleansing and purifying too. We were just out on the ley lines here, right under the Tor, which is a really crazy area to stay out in. We stay out camping. Caravan camping, and it's really crazy to sleep out there with the crazy energy flying around. It will probably give you weird dreams. Like I always have really crazy sleep experiences, but I'm into that, right? It'll give you really crazy altered state of consciousness kind of sleep experiences. It will really cleanse your body out. It will help purify you. This energy is so powerful. It's like pure source energy flying around hitting the planet right now. So some of these areas, they already were like really high energy kind of power spots. And with this energy coming in with Ascension, it's activating the planet on all new levels that's never been seen before, right? Right, like this has never been done before like this. And so, you know, it's activating the earth. So when we get out there, we really connect with that energy as well. We want to be on the same frequencies as Gaia. So this is what this is about, is the earth is changing its frequency. We know all about that. We've been doing that our whole life, right? Trying to change our frequency, hopefully. The earth is changing our frequency. And so we need to adapt and make sure our bodies are adaptable to these new frequencies. This is why we're having to eat lighter food. We're having to raise our own frequency so that we can keep up with Gaia on her ascension. So through getting outside and connecting with the earth, it will ground you. It will put you on good frequencies. You know, like all that. If you're stressed out, if you have a lot going on, go outside, connect with the earth. All that should fade away. When I was in California, and I had a good opportunity where I could walk around barefoot all the time, right, a little bit warmer. I was walking around barefoot all the time. I was outside all the time too, because there was a nice garden area, and literally I was so much more grounded and calm. And the second I came to the United Kingdom, it was like, oh my God, instant ungrounded here energy, right? Because it's a lot of energy flying around, so it can be a lot to handle. So it's taken me a while to adjust to these frequencies because, you know, I am American, so to move over here where they're on a completely different frequency and vibration, it took my physical body a minute to adapt. For sure, it's very healing to get outside. It will activate things within you. Connecting with the earth and the ley lines will, it will activate things about your past lives and incarnations as well. So, you know, we have these infinite probabilities playing out. It will kind of give you a better picture of, you know, things like your options, things that you would have mapped out here too. So it's really powerful for incarnation. So connect with the earth more. Even like, I know a lot of people are in the wintertime, like make sure that you're opening your windows every day. Sage more too. Things like plant medicine, I know, right? Things, but I think of sage like plant medicine too, right? We have a lot of Palo Santo and sage we do here because, you know, it's a lot of energies I deal with and work with. So for sure, things like sage too, you're connecting with the earth. Right? Things like herbs. I am huge on herbs for healing. You guys know that. Any kind of organic foods, right? Root veggies, things like that are so good for connecting with the earth. I think that's why we're feeling a pull to eat more fruits and vegetables, that people probably were meant to be eating natural foods pulled from Gaia, right? Pulled from Gaia. This is the kind of energy that we need. A lot of people talk about Gaia like she is our mother, but she is a powerful goddess, and she is the feminine, and she is a living entity and very spiritual and having, you know, her own journey. And just like it's symbolic of the feminine being enslaved, we could see that about Gaia. Now, I'm being asked to help with putting out there where we're kind of headed with this ascension, which is kind of uncharted for me territory and hard to do. I try to be careful with my words, but just as we went through our own healing journey, and some of you guys might have thought it was like game over, right? End times, everything's awful. We go through our own healing journey, right? And we heal fully, and that's going to happen with the planet now. I think people are realizing we have a lot of things unfolding, like, you know, fires in Australia and stuff on globally where people aren't going to have a choice, and they're going to have to evolve too, and this whole planet's going to need kind of cleaned up, we'll say, right? It's supposed to get cleaned up, and it will be a new earth, or a new state of consciousness as well from the work that people are doing. So for sure, we need to connect with the earth during this time, especially the ones that have been activating themselves and doing inner work. We go out there and we kind of go into these areas anywhere, and we're activating the earth as well. Like I said, crystals are powerful because they come from the earth. I like to think of them as like literal, we can say crystallized earth energy, right? They really are like crystallized earth energy. They have a stable frequency, so they're powerful for that chakra as well. Make sure that you guys are, like, if you're sleeping at night, maybe don't wear socks. If anyone wears socks, it will let the flow of energy kind of go through your feet better, with things like that too. So that helps with your Earth Star chakra. So people walk around barefoot a lot. It could be really good for you. Grounding for you. Ground more. Connect with the earth. You can talk to the earth too as a goddess that would assist you, right? So we're deeply connected to the earth. We're like cells in one body, right? This is why people aren't getting that far with some of their theories with science and stuff like that. Deeply interconnected. That's why if a lot of the body is sick, you might not be feeling great. We all vibrate on one collective frequency, so it would be beneficial to everyone if we could lift up the frequencies around here, which is something that is happening and it's divine. But for sure, you can talk to Gaia. For sure, that chakra also has a connection with the elemental realms. I always forget this stuff. For sure has a connection with the elemental realms, and you know, we're meant to be a planet that really lives in harmony with, you know, the realms of nature, the elemental realms. This was meant to be like one big beautiful elemental realm, this planet, when it was made, right? Kind of heaven on earth. So keep that goal in sight. I think people have a really easy time manifesting the negative around here. It's easy to manifest doomsday earthquakes and end time scenarios and things like that. And then when we're being asked to create something positive in our lives and what do we want to do for the next decade, people kind of have a harder time with it. So for sure, you know, activating our Earth Star Chakra helps with manifesting things. All right, I'm going to be getting off here. I have a post. No one sees it. Facebook probably buried it. I have a post on this page for activating your Earth Star Chakra. Next week, I'm going into the Soul Star, which will probably be my favorite because it's the Astral Chakra. It's the Astral Chakra. So we're going to start with the Earth Star Chakra this week. I kind of changed around. There's a new pin post because I was changing around the class formats because it's 2020. I'm starting a new class and going into different things that will build upon what we did last time with the 7 chakra system and things like that. So I have a new post up. If you guys want activated in this chakra, you can leave a comment. You do have a new year fee of 33 pounds to do for the year if you're interested in staying in this space, but all that's on the pin post. There's like a link, but I do the activations to get people to actually sign up for the class. So then you guys have to pay the class fee if you want activated. Usually it'll work out better. Give people some incentive. So I'm going to be doing that the rest of the week. And then I'm off I'll do meditation and mystery school tomorrow about Isis. So I have these 3 class spaces up and running again. I'm very excited about it. I'll definitely be putting a lot of good content that we're learning here in these spaces. All right, a lot of people are feeling the eclipse energy too before I get off of here. The eclipse is like a big reset. We just went through a new year porthole, and I'm gonna do another video about that. And literally, we're headed through eclipse season. So, you know, I feel like it's a big energy reset, these eclipses. A lot of natives tell you don't go outside during them, and that it's like a big reset of the universe, right? So, I don't know. It really does something to the frequency, and a lot of times it feels like a reset energetically. So, a lot of people are like not moving because it's the holidays, having problems moving. That is kind of normal. We also have several eclipses this year, so we can see maybe we need that frequency reset. The universe is kind of pushing us to slow down and find a different flow on higher frequencies.